Alright, story grid, take two. I went through the foolscap to see what the sequence was versus the what I had actually. So the other thing that I did is I was looking at the external values at stake, and I felt like what I had put down there was probably more internal than external. So I wanted to really play up the dynamics between Estrella and Shia, because Estrella's going to spend a lot of this novel thinking that she's friends with Shia, only to find out that she is really her enemy and has been all along. So, partnering to uncertainty. Oh, parting to uncertainty to enemies. Okay, so that's the external values at stake that I'm using for this, for my evaluation. What I did is I went through all these things to make sure that I have all these things as per my idea of how the sequence should go. And so I went over to the story grid and I put those in here. I've got them numbered and color-coded so I can tell if they're for the beginning, the middle, or the end. One thing when I was going through is I noticed that the sequence didn't necessarily line up with the scenes that I actually had. Like these ones, I have 13 through 16 here. I moved them from between 12 and 17 until after 17 because 13 through 16 are the resolution. And the resolution for one is Estrella must explore the mythics to discover her role. This is something I just wanted to go through and make sure everything was in order. And of course there was this that wasn't in order, and there was a couple other scenes that I found that I didn't have quite in order. Just one scene, let's see. Going through, I found that there was, there was one scene missing. Let's see, I think that was in the middle. Yeah, two. And I'm actually going to have to revise the scene to include it. But this, the crisis, wasn't in the middle build-up. So I went through my scenes to see what I had, if I had anything that would work, and this is where I wanted to put the crisis. So I'm going to have to actually revise this scene pretty heavily to make sure that I'm dealing with this question: should Estrella abandon her mission with the Mythics or pursue the Moon Elves and be done with it all? She wants to go home because she thinks if she can just get back home, she can get back to life the way it used to be, and maybe find where she belongs there, even though she couldn't find it there before, as we all do sometimes. Okay, so, let's see. Alright, this is the other thing I was going through, and I realized that going to visit the fairies before Estrella goes to try to find the Moon Elves doesn't serve any purpose necessarily. So instead of trying to push through that goal and finish that, I'm moving that until after Estrella tries to find the Moon Elves. Because it's going to work out, the tension and everything is going to work out a lot better if I do that. So I'm actually probably going to be taking this scene 41 and combining it with 49, because 41 and 49, 41 is going to have more of the, oh, this is your first time here kind of a thing, whereas 49 is more dealing with the aftermath of her escaping from the Moon Elf cave. So, so yeah, I just went through that, and, you know, obviously, not every scene has ties into the sequence. You're going to have some stuff that's going to be between these things, especially in the middle build, because the middle build is the longest act. It's 2/3 of the thing, and he doesn't break that down any further, which is fine, I think, as far as the sequence. But you gotta realize that the sequence for the middle build is going to be spaced out probably a lot more than it is in the first or the third. And actually, the third sequence, the ending payoff, is comes a lot quicker. Inciting incident, complication, crisis, climax, resolution. And actually, since this is book 2 of book 3, I'm going to have a little bit of a cliffhanger here to try to get people to hold on for book 3. So that's what I've got. I just wanted everyone to see kind of where I was at in this next stage of the process. Just making sure that the foolscap and the story grid both kind of correlate to each other, that I'm hitting all the notes, that I'm hitting the internal shift and the external shift, and all these notes, the inciting incident, the complication, the crisis, climax, and resolution, in the overall story. So that's where I'm at now, and we'll see where it goes from here. Hopefully this fixes the story, and I can get it edited and out very quickly from here.